Hi, I'm Neeraj, CTO and co-founder of Bluzelle, and here's Richard, who's doing our demo for Sprint Highlight number 39.
Hi, I'm Rich Nistuk. I'm a senior developer at Bluzelle. I work on the daemon. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Bluzelle API right now. Uh, I've written an application which will spool up a 4-node swarm on my machine. It will be a local swarm. And the application I've written is called Swarm Spooler. We'll open source it once it's ready to be out there. And we can see that it's created a 4-node swarm.
So these four nodes are running locally on your machine?
They are local on my machine.
Okay, great.
Now we can go to the real demo, which is Swarm Talker. It uses the Bluzelle API to talk to the swarm I've just created. I need to tell Swarm Talker where to look for the header files for this API. There they are. First thing is I need to connect to the swarm using the Bluzelle API initialize function. It takes a public and private key for the cryptography part of creating and reading keys. It also takes an endpoint so that it knows where the swarm is and a swarm ID. The endpoint is my localhost address and the port of one of the nodes in the swarm.
So the API call here in the Bluzelle API for initialize, it looks like you're connecting to a single node, one of those four nodes. Is it in fact only connecting to that one node?
It will ask that one node for a list of the rest of the nodes in the swarm, and then it will ask each of those swarms for a status and choose the fastest node to connect to from then on.
Okay.
Every now and then it polls the swarm to find out which one is fastest and always tries to use the fastest node.
Okay.
Once we've initialized that connection, we can create or open a cache. And that's what this line here is for. So I have chosen my DB as the identifier for my cache.
Mm-hmm.
We will first ask the swarm, does it have that cache? If it does, we will open the cache. If it does not, we'll create the cache. Return value of these two functions is a database object.
Okay.
And let's quickly run this. There we go. For the demo, the first thing I will do once I have a cache is ask for the swarm status.
Okay.
And print that out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll create a key value pair.
Mm-hmm.
Key 0, a very nice value. Then I'll quick read that key 0, that 0 key.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll update the value of key 0. Read it again to make sure that the value has indeed been updated. And then I'll ask for all the keys in the cache. Finally, I will remove the key 0 from the cache to clean up. And if we look at the output, we can see what happened.
So there's your status output right there.
That's the status output.
Okay.
It lists all of the nodes and their connection information.
Okay.
And the time it took to talk to them.
Okay.
It also gives us the value of the primary node.
Okay.
Here is the create
Mm-hmm.
response. We see that it was successful. If it were not successful, it would also give you an error message. For example, the key might already exist.
Okay.
Here's the result of the quick read.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked for key 0, and it gave me the value, a
Okay.
very nice value. I then did the update where I changed a very nice value for key 0 to something else.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is, a better value than the old one.
All right.
Finally, I asked the swarm, for all the keys in our cache. There's only one, so it returned an array of one key, key 0. And finally, I remove the key to clean up. That is the demo.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Richard.
Thank you, Niraj.